Hey everybody, welcome to the Anything and Everything podcast. I'm your host Matt,
I'm your host, James.
and so the Phillies lost last night.
Yeah.
Could start off with that. I don't understand. Like I said before in the last episode, how baseball could change just like that.
hmm
They went from playing totally on fire of hitting,
Yeah.
and then they play last night and don't get a single hit.
Yeah. We're recording on Thursday, so obviously we're talking about Wednesday's game last night. But yeah, and as I said before, all these are recorded a week in advance. So I just thought I'd say that. So you'll be seeing this after the World Series is already over and we know who won. But yeah, so you know, uh as always, we don't really have a script or anything. We sort of just talk about anything and everything. So, um, yeah, but with the Phillies, they are not quite, it, like you said, how things change. They played well one game. They don't even play the next game, pretty much. No hits. I mean, they had no offense the whole time. Um, Nola was doing pretty good, and then he threw maybe like what two bad pitches, and he was uh, replaced in the next inning. So it's sort of like it's rough because you can't really blame um, the defense as much because you know Nola did well. He threw two bad pitches and got replaced, and yeah, they gave up some points, one inning, 5 points in one inning. And it's sort of like they didn't really show up to play. They didn't bring all the they didn't bring enough to the table. And so that's what it really comes down to. Defensively, yeah, they let up 5 points in one inning, but that was one inning. And then the rest they didn't. Um, so you have to blame it on the offense for the most part. Obviously, defense a little bit too. And obviously, that one inning was they had who was pitching? Was it
First Nola, then Alvarado,
Alvarado? Yeah, it was him who let up those.
and he pretty much plucked them and then he walked.
Mhm.
Um, that's the one thing, dude, about baseball nowadays. It's hard to watch, and don't get me wrong, I love the game, but
Mhm.
it's hard to watch because nowadays they have it down to a science of like the launch angle of
Mhm.
hitting. So they just rely on that and swing for the fences.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
job by Bo. But
they have players that do not who aren't like home run hitters and they swing for the fences.
yeah.
And it's like kind of like at a point where it's like silly.
Yeah.
It's totally silly, So, and you could just like when they're swinging, you could just tell. You could tell a swing from trying to hit a home run to a swing of just getting a base hit.
hmm
But
Yeah.
my opinion, I think that, you know, if you're going to get hits and stuff like that, if you're going to get points, I feel like getting on base is the key.
Yeah.
I mean, the Astros beat us 5-0, and they pretty much and it all like revolved around just hits. They didn't get a single
hmm
home run.
Yeah. No, they didn't. And some of them they even walked. I mean, their first point was from a walk because they had bases loaded, then walked someone, I forget who it was, and
Yeah.
so that's how they got their first point. So it was just honestly bad pitching by Alvarado and then bad offense by the whole team.
Like I'm not just like a home run guy. Like I like that I feel like nowadays since they got the launch angle, it's just there should be specific people doing that on the team, I think.
hmm
You know, like some players have that ability, but in the beginning of the game, and it's a baseball is a long game.
Yeah.
Like right then and there, by the first at bat or second at bat, you're like, the home run hits aren't really. I don't have the mentality for it right now, so I'm
hmm
not going to do it.
Yeah.
And baseball is a sport where it's like you're not going to be like that every single game. It's yeah, like the sport is so long and the season's so long, that's almost impossible. I mean, they were talking about fatigue with the Phillies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean, fatigue's big in anything and all sports pretty much. So baseball's no different. So kind of like branching off from that. I think one thing, like a takeaway from the Phillies, I guess, would be, in order to win the World Series, they're going to have to play better offense, play a little bit smarter offense, and that goes with every sport. And I think someone who has good offense, and good defense as well, Eagles. So I just wanted to branch off for a second because they also play tonight, Thursday night football against the Texans, which is funny because Houston. But I think the Eagles will have to show up in their game. I mean, it's Houston. Texans aren't that great, but you can't just go to any team and just expect to beat them. They're all in the NFL. They all can win. So, I think with the Eagles right now, they're going to have to, play their game and hopefully they win. So, yeah.
I want to see them play like a really, really good team, like the Bills or something.
Yeah,
Because then, like, that's when you see, like,
exactly. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what
That's
you
when
mean.
you see, like, how really their true
I
talent.
mean,
So
I just made a top 10 list of, NFL teams, and I'm not gonna lie, the Eagles are not number one for me. For number 10, I have Chargers. I wrote a whole little paragraph per team or a few sentences per team, but I'm not gonna read that now. So I Chargers number 10, 49ers are 9, Bengals 8, Dolphins 7, Ravens 6, Chiefs 5, Cowboys 4, Vikings 3, Eagles 2, and Bills are number 1. Because honestly, the Bills have, Eagles have a great offense and a great defense. Bills have the same thing, except they have Josh Allen as well. And one thing Josh Allen is learning to do is to win in the big moments. He didn't do that great during the playoffs last year, but he's learning that now. He's learning to win, and that's something that you need in a quarterback. You can't just have someone who wins here and there. Like no offense, but Kirk Cousins isn't going to win you a Super Bowl unless, I mean, this year, don't get me wrong, Vikings are doing very well, but Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback. He's a little bit above average, I'll say, but Carson Wentz now, he's a serviceable quarterback at best right now, based off of how he's been playing. I think he's a little bit better than other people take him to be. But I also think that he's not going to win you a Super Bowl anymore because now his self-esteem and everything's just so much lower. And I just think that's something that you need to have, that like not a cockiness, but you need to be very
it's confident.
yeah, you just need confidence really. And
Yeah.
the Bills the Bills have that. And Jalen Hurts I think he has confidence, don't get me wrong, but he's not Josh Allen. No one's Josh Allen. And not even Patrick Mahomes right now is Josh Allen in my eyes. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I do think that the Bills, are the team to beat. The Eagles right now are the team to beat because they don't have a loss yet at the time of this filming. But the Bills are the team to beat because they have proven themselves a few years ago, and last year, and now they're back, and they're back with a full head of steam and everything, and they're going to want to win. So I'm a huge Eagles fan. I think Eagles can be number one, but I put Bills first because I think they have something that the Eagles don't, and it's the experience of winning.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really, really well. Like, I'm loving everything they're doing.
Mhm.
But then again, it's just that good team,
Mhm.
and I want them to come across. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I guess going on the sports category here, Union are in the MLS Cup,
Yep.
and they're playing. Who are they playing again?
They're playing LAFC.
Okay, a bit funny. It was Houston,
That'd be really hilarious.
but yeah.
Those guys, man, are just nuts.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what. This is just my opinion. I feel like in all sports, I feel like soccer has to be up there of athletes being in the best shape. Like, because a lot of people think it's just, they just do cardio. It's not. These dudes, like, like their day of
Hmm.
training is like insane.
Yeah.
It's go out, train for 3 hours, go in the gym, in the weight room for a couple hours, and
Hmm.
eat a very good strict diet.
Hmm.
A lot of carbs as well, healthy carbs. And it's insane because some of these players, they average running like 7 to 10 miles a game.
Hmm.
And that's like nuts to me.
Yeah, and I'm not. I might sound a little biased here because I played hockey, but I think hockey is a sport where they're in some of the best shape because
I think hockey's up there too. Yeah.
with hockey, now comparing it to soccer, I don't know what I would rank higher personally, but hockey, I know that you have to go, you're working out in the gym, you're working out on the ice, you're working out just you go for runs and stuff like that. You do a whole bunch in order to put yourself above others in hockey. And you know, I see in basketball a lot of tall, lanky guys, just shooting balls, dunking
Well,
them,
like,
whatever.
I don't see anybody that's, this is all I'm going to say. I don't see anybody that's fat or out of shape in hockey, soccer, or even boxing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see
Well,
anybody like that.
boxing, I do a little bit. I forget who it was, but it was someone who I saw fight. Uh, I forget who it was, but there are some of them who are not like out of shape, but they don't have as much muscle as they do. It's like most of their power comes from something else. I wish I remember who I was talking about, but I have his image in my head. I just don't know the name because I'm not a big boxing guy. But there are, for the most part, they are in good shape though.
Yeah, I mean, they have, that's the one thing, man. They have, like, with hockey, like, you're on shifts, right?
Yeah.
But when you get on that shift, you're freaking emptying the tank fully.
So
Like, you're
a shift in
literally
hockey, a good shift in
totally,
hockey is between 30 seconds to a minute. A minute
yeah,
can be too much sometimes because you're giving everything you got for that 30 seconds, 45 seconds, minute sometimes. And you're giving everything you got. And if you're not tired when you're getting off the ice, you're not doing it right. So some people are out there thinking like 2 minutes is enough or like is like a good shift, and no, it's not,
I
because
wonder
if
if it
you're out
has
there
something
for
to
two
do with that
minutes
though too, because like a lot of people, a lot of trainers, they all say that like circuits are like a good thing to do
Mhm.
because it's like you're going on for that minute, just pretty much emptying the tank fully,
Yeah,
coming out for probably a minute or two, and then coming back on again.
yeah,
Like it's what it is. It's like a circuit, but
yeah, yeah, I mean that's what it is.
and like so one thing too, like with soccer is a sport where it's like straight through, and you really do like in soccer have to learn to like conserve your energy.
Yeah.
Like you really, really do. Like
Hmm.
it's hard. It can be really hard, but I just think those guys in all sports are like the best
Hmm.
shape.
And that's where I defer hockey and soccer, because in hockey you're not holding anything back, you're going all out for that shift,
Yeah, you
and
are.
then you get a few minutes rest, then you're back out there for just as hard if not harder, because you're playing to win, you're not playing to play in those cases. So it's like you're out there working your butt off trying to get that win. You can't just be like, oh, I need to conserve my energy for the next shift, because that's what that rest is for. You leave everything
Yeah.
out on the ice.
I remember I remember playing soccer for a good amount of time and then playing hockey. And from playing soccer, I was so used to being in that mindset of, all right, I got to conserve this, make sure to pass the ball, spread out to conserve this, because
Hmm.
it's a big playing field. But then, like with hockey, I remember I went into it, and that's one reason why I love the sport was because when you got out there,
Hmm.
it was true. You just totally empty the tank.
Yeah, well, so I also see a little bit of difference in what you're talking about because so basically in you did you ever do roller hockey or was it just
I did roller and street,
okay. So with roller
but it
hockey
was
it's
the
pretty
same. The shifts
similar.
and stuff. It was the
Yeah,
same setup.
yeah. And you're doing everything, you're putting everything out there. That's the same. But the difference between uh I'm not going to say it's different between ice hockey, roller hockey, and just foot street hockey or whatever, because you do have to put everything out there and everything. But with ice hockey, at least I feel like it's pretty much the same in all hockey. So I'm not going to leave it. I'm not going to really deny it because,
Because
but
that's how at least was set up
mhm,
for me. But
yeah,
like I said, my the thing I had trouble with was learning to get out there. So like when I would start a game, I would never go like in a soccer game all out and just empty the tank.
oh yeah,
And from being an athlete with that so many years and then going to hockey, it was weird to get in that mindset of just empty it right now.
yeah, well yeah, because so in ice hockey and probably all hockey, but you're going full speed the whole time. It's not just you're trying your hardest, but you're going your fastest too. Um, and if you're going slower, you're going to miss the play. The play is going to go right past you. So you got to keep up with it. And yeah, it's not 100 yards or anything, but it feels like 100 yards when you're going down the whole thing super fast because with hockey, you can't
And it's
slow
back and
down
forth.
the same as you
Really
do
fast.
when you're running. Running, you can stop immediately. Hockey, you get to that level where you stop immediately, but you're stopping. It's like you have to it's there's a bunch of angles and stuff, but also not just angles, but once you stop, you're turning around. You're stopping for a reason, and you're going full speed back. It's like uh, there's a very small fine line of you actually getting a break when you're on the ice, and that's when there's a whistle and there's no shift change, or when you're
It's like a
stopping.
save.
Yeah, yeah, like something like that. That's when you get it together and you figure out what you're doing. And then when you're in the middle of a play, you're going full speed, but you still have to figure out what you're doing. So it's a complicated sport. All sports have something like that where it makes it complicated. So I'm not going to hate on any of them, but that's definitely one of the hardest sports I feel like because uh, most people can't even ice skate
Yeah.
or a
No,
lot of people.
like you gotta think too, like the way you're moving with skates on, like it's just a sport where you really are in the best shape. And like I'll be totally honest with you, the body just tells you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the body just tells you, like, dude, like doesn't like the Flyers right now have like all of them have like 3% body fat right now or something like that?
I wouldn't be surprised because
I
you're
thought
always moving.
I thought I read that somewhere that they had like 3% body fat or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, it is crazy because it most people I'd say like a normal average person probably has like 10% body fat.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean,
3% is insanely low.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's insane. I feel like there was a point when I was playing sports and my mind was like 3%.
Yeah. Yeah. I ran for a while and that's something that happened to me. Playing hockey and running both at the same time, that did that to me.
A lot of people tell me they're like, did you feel unhealthy then? I'm like, nah, I don't know. I guess my body just adjusts.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you had that year of running too. Yeah.
you know what, that year of running, I ran cross country and played soccer at the same time.
Hmm.
And at the same time at school, I took that weightlifting class thing, the sports and health,
Yeah.
and was doing that in school. So like all three of those at the same time I was doing. Then
Mhm.
right smack dab after was playing basketball. I was in I really was in the best shape at that time.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't really say when I was in my best shape because it varied. I was in pretty good shape all throughout high school because hockey and running, and I was in decent shape before that because I just played hockey and I had to stay in decent shape at least. And I improved. I mean, my last year was my best year. I even got most improved. Not gonna flex on that or anything, but I got most improved player, and I take pride in that because I did improve a lot. I I can't say that my effort changed because my effort, if anything, it just got better and better. I just put more effort into it because I had the capability to put more effort into it, not because I just chose to try harder. It was, once you get to a certain level where you start here at the bottom or whatever, and then you go up, and then it's sort of uh, exponential growth. And so the better you get, the faster you'll get better. So that's how I always looked at it with sports in general and hockey because it was like a package thing. When I got better, I had more room for growth. I think
Yeah.
that was how I viewed it because I was not the perfect player, and I was not close to it. So once you get to being super good, then it's sort of like you'll plateau a little bit. But there was a lot of exponential growth for me because even for running, because I started out slow. I wasn't great, but I was decent my first year, and then my second year I got much better, and then my third year, I was so much better, and it was like a huge gap from where I started. And I just think about that with any sport that I've done, basically.
Like I said though, I really miss the neighborhood sports we used to do.
Yeah, that was
Pick up
always fun.
stuff. That was always the best.
Yeah, yeah, it was always nice. Yeah, so that
Always a
that
great
was
time.
yeah, it was. And I feel like something that we don't do now is that we like right now we don't do much of that because everyone's in college or something.
I didn't need to worry about making sure to work out certain times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that was the workout after
Like you
school.
could just
You
like
know.
we used to be like summertime, it was like wiffle ball,
Hmm.
like stickball or like street basketball or going in the woods and climbing stuff, like
Yeah.
climbing trees or whatever, and climbing fences, doing like all stuff like that. And then in the winter, it was like street hockey, football, and
Hmm.
it was it was something you were always doing something, I feel
Yeah.
like. And or like bikes too, like in the summer we'd ride bikes and
Yeah.
everything.
Everything we pretty much talked about in the last episode, there was a lot of things, but that we did then, and it was all fun, But if you want to hear about that, you can watch our last episode because we talked about that pretty much the whole episode, and that well, it's not out right now, but by the time you see this, it would have been out for a week. But yeah, um, but just talking about like anything and everything. What is something that you've always just wanted to like? Is there anything that you've ever want to just get off your chest that like maybe you haven't told people, but like it's not a secret, just you just haven't gotten to telling people?
I don't know. I
I
don't
know
know. I
that's
mean,
just it was a shot in the dark there because I don't know if you have anything like that, but because you know we talk about this show being anything and everything, so I just thought I'd ask a random question.
I don't know. I don't know what to get. I don't know. I mean, I don't have like really anything like that right now.
Okay.
I'm sure that's gonna come though,
Yeah.
sometime in my
Yeah, I'm
life,
sure. Yeah,
but at the moment, not really.
I'd have to say the same honestly, but yeah, I just thought I'd ask that question because we're running out of ideas. No, I'm kidding. But We mentioned working out or whatever, and I go to physical therapy because I have my shoulder's been aching and stuff.
Which
Pain.
I might have to do the same thing. My shoulder
Yeah.
is screwed up completely.
Yeah, mine's been for years. I don't know. I forget what shoulder I used when I hurt myself when I checked someone because in hockey I hurt my shoulder after hitting someone, but I don't know. I forget which one it was. I'm trying to think about the angle I was on, and it's making me think it was this one, which is my hurt shoulder. This is my left side. And so I don't know because when I don't remember exactly, but yeah, so I'm not able to work out right now. I'm doing only the workouts that the physical therapist gives me right now, and it's the workouts are simple stuff, but it's definitely helping because the stretches that she gave me helped the my range of motion stuff improve a little bit more, and my strength is slowly getting better, but it's work in progress. But yeah,
I mean, I definitely think it was benching.
well, yeah, because I felt it that day. We went to the gym one day and I felt it, and yeah, so actually, I think I talked about it a little bit when on the podcast with Marissa, our first episode, and yeah, it was just I I said it then. I'm gonna say it now. I don't think I'm ever gonna bench again. And if I do, it's gonna be very light and simple, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't even
don't.
know why I do it, but I can't imagine myself wanting to go
Yeah,
through this again.
I haven't benched in a while,
Mhm.
and I never. I plan on not benching again because it's just I do push-ups. That's my thing.
Well, yeah, push-ups are, I
But
they're better for you.
people say, well, it's like the same motion. Well, if you think deeper, it's honestly not because you're like, this is how I think you hurt your shoulder, and this is how I think I did. If you're like going down like this, you're like, there's points where you're fatiguing it.
Yeah.
Your like arm could like cave and go this way when you're going up, and you don't realize it. And me just doing that right now, it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
Or it can go this way or that way. But the thing is, you don't know you're doing that until you rack it and
Hmm.
you sit or the next day.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I think, and the bar is like this. It's literally like an inch. So I
Mhm.
have like I kind of like am against it. I don't think it's smart. I don't
Although
think
you're
there's
the
a
reason
healthy.
why I benched that
True,
day.
true.
Because we benched a few times before that too, and every time it was because I promised the gym. He was like, we were going through a routine, and he mentioned something about benching. I was like, I guess I'll do it.
Like
Just saying.
it's
But yeah,
true though. I mean, I couldn't. I think that's definitely what did it, and I don't plan on going back to it again.
yeah. I mean, I canceled gym membership because I have things that I can work out with besides the gym. Plus, the gym costs money, so
Yeah.
I just I have my own things that I can work out
Well,
with.
just like my buddy's, so like my buddy's dad said that his he pretty much tore his front deltoid
Hmm.
pretty much benching,
Oh, really?
and I don't know.
Getting a phone call.
It totally it totally messes like everything up because like even if you're an athlete, like this is what I always think. I think that if you're going to try to train to have the healthiest joints with strength training,
Yeah.
I feel like if you're training as a baseball player, that's the best way to go.
I'm sorry for the phone ringing. I'm not gonna edit it out because I like to keep it like raw footage and stuff. So I just wanted to apologize. I hope you're able to hear him. But yeah. Um
Because these guys, the way that they work out, like Bryce Harper doesn't bench. He doesn't bench. He doesn't overhead shoulder press, whatever shit you call it.
yeah.
He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't do weighted dips because, like, at the end of the day, those are like exercises that could honestly cause like a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
I know some baseball athletes will do like shoulder raises or like, flies for their chest
Hmm.
or push ups. So, like, I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, see, like that's the one thing. Like I don't consider people that are bodybuilders fit.
Well, yeah, no, they're not fit. They have a lot of unwanted muscle weight, I think.
I don't really count them as fit
No, I don't either.
because at the end of the day, if you got me racing a person that's like 230, whatever you are, if you're
Oh yeah.
muscular, you're not going to make it very far.
No, not at all. They have too much weight to
So
carry.
like that's like my thing. Like
I could put a weighted vest on and still beat them.
yeah. There's sometimes too where it's like and body weight's just great to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's healthier. It's more natural because you're doing stuff like that every day. Whether it's if you're doing a pull up, I mean, yeah, it's some of it can be a little iffy,
Like
but pull ups, it's stuff like this motion. You've done it before. A lot of these motions you did before. Push ups, it's different, like you said, than benching, and you do that like if you're pushing something away. Except it's a little bit more heavy because you're doing push up rather than pushing away. So,
like it is a good like body weight's just so great.
mhm.
Like a majority of what I do is I don't really do any dumbbell weight stuff anymore. The only equipment that I use is like bands or like a weight vest.
Yeah,
Um, but like, nah, I mean, I'll probably get like dumbbells if I'm doing like raises or something,
mhm.
but that's usually or like squats, but that's usually all I use them for.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's because you just want to add a little bit more weight. You're not really doing anything different with the motions and stuff.
No.
So it's pretty much the same. By the way, I wasn't trying to show any muscle there because I haven't worked out in a while. I don't have much. I was sort of just checking my arm because I felt something on it.
When you get back into it, you're gonna be sore as heck, I feel like.
Oh yeah, I know it will be. I'm already just doing the workouts that she's having me do. The physical therapist. I'm getting sore,
Do
and
they
this
have
arm too. And this arm,
did
I'm
she
just
give
using
you
to lift.
like the ones that you're doing, what like I guess it involves like having like a pole, like a straight pole or something, right?
Okay, so basically we have bands, uh,
Bands are great.
and then she also had me do like 3 pound dumbbells. I lay down on my back and I go like this, basically, like a forward shrug sort of, where I'm like lifting my shoulders off the bed that I'm laying on, and I just like lift it up like that. I started with 2 pound, then I'm at 3 pound. Not that it matters like that, but it's just basically getting my shoulder back to where it was the same. I'm trying to heal it while keeping muscle there or whatever, keeping it healthy. And then we have one with a band where I'll show it on this arm, but I do it on this one, obviously. But it's like I have to pull the band in like this, and then
Rotator cuff.
yeah, and then I have pretty much the same thing, except I I'm standing like this and I'm pulling it out like that. So I have a whole bunch of different things I would do. I don't know if anyone was able to see that, uh, depending on where the border is going to be, but yeah,
It's important though, to keep that stuff healthy.
yeah,
Yeah, like it really is. I mean, like when you're like even like I have a conversation like this with your dad all the time. Your dad's done construction work, physical labor, pretty much his whole life, right?
yeah.
Since like he started construction when he was what, like 20 maybe?
I
Maybe
mean, he
maybe
was
even
always
younger.
helping out even when he was younger with his dad's stuff, and I don't
And
know exactly when he started, but it was definitely before he was 20.
because like if you see like pictures of your dad, certain ages, your dad looked really fit
Yeah,
back then. Because it's just like doing like that type of job, it's all totally it's almost like a full body workout
well, yeah,
combined with like functional movements.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
hmm
Like something as simple as getting a heavy like bag of cement and just picking it up off the floor, walking with it like this, and then going like that or something,
yeah,
and bringing it back down and doing it again. Like something as simple as that just does wonders to me.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And, there's a whole bunch of different things that they have to lift and different weight. I mean, different ways that they move things too. And, they have machines for it, but they also have to use, I mean, they use themselves just as much. So, the movements and stuff that they do are all natural movements that you do. And that's why calisthenics are the way, one of the best ways to work out because it's all natural movements for the most part.
Yeah, and I remember like your dad gave me one of the nail guns that he used to hold,
Hmm.
and the thing was like heavy as heck.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I used it a few
I'm
times.
thinking in my head of him holding that for a good amount of time all day, like 8 hours, 7 hours,
Hmm.
and it didn't even have any nails in it.
Yeah. I
So like
mean,
imagine with nails.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
it's just
I
crazy.
can imagine, but not to the full extent. But I've used it a few times, obviously not to the same extent that my dad did. But when I was helping him, and I've only used it maybe like I barely used it even then, and just using it maybe like for one or two, three nails or whatever it was probably a little bit more than that. But compared to him, it was nothing. And I mean, yeah, it's a workout just doing that. So I can't imagine doing it as long as he had to use it for whatever. And you know, yeah, it definitely does something. It's a good workout.
Like your dad probably didn't even need a gym membership or anything like that.
I don't even know if he ever had one, except recently. I think him and my mom have one at Planet Fitness. I don't know if they still have it, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't think he had one when he was younger.
But I'm big with that though, like functional strength training, functional like that stuff to me is I think is the best.
Yeah.
Like I don't there's never like moments now like where I do just curls like this.
Hmm.
I'll like do I'll bring them dumbbells and bring them up here and then press and twist around
Yeah.
and then hold back here and then squat and then bring them down again and then bring them up here. Like functional, like multiple movement exercises.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing because I just feel like it's just normal for the human body.
Yeah. It's what comes natural.
Because like eventually they say your form, you have if you're doing curls, you have to keep your shoulders back and be like this, right?
Yeah, but no
Like, do you
one's done
think
that.
being like this after years and years, just little like isometric movement, I just don't think it's smart.
Yeah, I mean, no one's walking around like this a whole day and picking. I mean, it's good for your back to like keep it straight, but like it's all about the natural movement. Like when you're going to pick
Yeah,
something up, you're going like this. You're not going like, you know.
I think dips, pull ups, push ups, like so a lot of people do pull ups.
Hmm.
When they do them this way. I can do them that way,
Hmm.
but it's just the grip of holding here. I just feel like the human body, it's meant for this
Yeah.
because you're still working your back, but you're incorporating your forearms and biceps with it too. But
Hmm.
you're still incorporating your back and still have good connection with it. But for me, I just think that's like the best way to do it because it feels more natural.
Yeah, it's definitely what comes naturally and stuff like that. So, talking about that and stuff, like, what do you say is one of the most effective body weight workouts that you know?
I think if you just did, man, I think if you incorporated just push ups, pull ups, dips, and like leg lifts and squats, I feel like those are like the main things.
Yeah,
Like
I get
just
that.
doing those five, that's a great workout. And
Hmm.
like you could also do inverted rows.
Yeah.
Like you could go like you have inverted rows with the calisthenic rings.
Hmm.
Those are great. That's a great body weight workout. And that's the one thing too. You buy a weight vest, if it gets an adjustable weight vest, if it
Hmm.
gets easy, you just put that on.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's about body weight, but obviously, if you get too used to your own body weight, then just doing someone else's body weight, basically.
Like like I do push-ups with these push-up handles that twist.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll go down like this and then go up and then twist my hands as I'm going up like that.
Yeah.
It's healthier for the shoulders, number one, but also it's like you're so used to, like I said, if you're a person who benches, you're so used to holding your wrist like this way and not spinning it.
Yeah.
It's like a one way thing. But then like you do it like that, you get really strong when you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You really do.
It's gonna push us back. But yeah, you're completely right.
I'll grab my phone.
Okay. Yeah. Workouts or whatever, or I'm just trying to kill some time. But when you're working out, you just gotta do them right and do the right ones. You got this phone.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like weightlifting a lot. Like I was lifting heavy
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And that's the one thing. Like I was like lifting heavy and I gained weight and I looked bigger. But it's just like in my head, I'm like, do I really feel good? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, do I really feel good? I don't know if I feel good.
Yeah.
And because it's just not the right like aspect of of working out because like I said, functional training, that's stuff that just makes you like feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think is there anything else you wanted to talk about in this episode?
Um, you know what? The I was wanting to talk about the what's it called of how what was it about this? I'm losing my train of thought.
It's okay. I do that all the time.
Um,
Just stay with us while we think. But, like while you're thinking or whatever, I did want to say if there's anyone that you could get to watch us or whatever, it would be nice because we're not doing it to get views, but it's nice to get the views. Because either way, we're doing this for our fun and stuff. But if you know anyone who would either benefit from just listening or anything like that, or if you just know someone who might want to listen, then give them, send them a link to our channel. And yeah, because we're trying to build this a little bit, because why not? You know, it's just nice. But yeah, because I was thinking if you didn't have anything else to say, we could end it here. But if you did, then we can keep going.
I was gonna say what's it of how we watched The Exorcist
Oh, okay.
and like Halloween just happened. Um,
Hmm. That's
that's
true.
that really is a good Halloween movie.
Yeah, I
Like
know some people don't like it or
like it
whatever,
really
but I
is.
liked it.
Like there's parts in that movie like, the scenes where just everything they have it set up where it's like you can tell it's in the fall. They got the leaves, blowing around. You got they got the scary like freaky music.
Yeah,
It is a great Halloween movie. Um, and that's the one thing though. Like it totally, aside from all like the disturbing stuff and over the top stuff that they really put in there, I really think that I really think it's a good movie.
yeah, I like it. It tells a story like all movies do, but it's about how they get to this, the like how the story goes, basically how they follow the lines. Because you can tell a basic story like once upon a time I walked across the street and found a penny on the ground. Or you can expand that story and you can talk about how you were walking and heavily breathing and you went to go pick something up off the ground and then your back hurt. And you can basically turn any story into a good story. but it's basically how they turn that story into a good story. And some people don't like demonic things or whatever, but
Like,
it's all about the storytelling for me. Like, I know it's not real, if it scares you, whatever, that's fine. But I know it's not real what happened. Some people believe it could be real and stuff, and that may be true, might not be. I'm not commenting on that, but it's all about just watching the movie and enjoying the story.
like it's mainly about a girl who gets possessed.
Hmm.
That's the thing, and what it's like for somebody that you love getting possessed, and for the mother who plays an actress.
Yeah,
And
within the movie,
what
she's
I
an
think
actress.
it's interesting is when two worlds collide. You have this little girl who's 12 years old who just accidentally gets possessed, going through hell pretty much. Same thing with her mother.
Quite literally.
And you have
Yeah.
Father Karras, who his mother just passed away. Doesn't really have too much going for him right now. He said Father Karras he's a what's it?
Priest.
He's a priest, and he's losing his faith,
Hmm.
and of how someone like him comes around. Same thing with the Exorcist that comes in and changes the person's life by killing himself.
Yeah, he saved someone's life basically by sacrificing himself. But yeah,
Like I could like the exorcism didn't even work.
no, it didn't.
It wasn't even close of working. So he was just like the ones. I'll tell you, the ending is wild, but the
Hmm.
one scene that's crazy is when, like, the first time I watched it, the one scene where the exorcist is in there, and he's pretty, and the girl pretty much killed him,
Hmm.
and he's dead on the floor, and Father Karras is like waiting on the steps at the bottom of the steps,
Hmm.
and the girl's mom comes in and is like, is she gonna die?
Yeah.
And he just goes, no. And he goes up and he goes in the room and sees that he's dead.
Hmm.
And he pretty much grabs her, beats her until that thing comes out, rips his cross off, and then literally lets the thing go into him and then
Hmm.
jumps out the window. That ending
Yeah.
is just wild.
Yeah, and you were talking about how. No, I agree completely. How because I'm a big fan of the storytelling and everything, but it reminded me of a movie that I actually just watched because you talked about how two worlds collide basically, and a good uh like movie for that I watched recently, or I actually talked about Silver Lining or Silver Linings Playbook or whatever, um a few weeks ago, and that was a good one, but also one that I just watched the other day. It was about I'm trying to remember the name. But it was about a girl who just moved into town or whatever, and it's like a southern small town, whatever. Everyone knows each other, and basically, this one girl's having a wedding, while the girl who just moved into town is trying to get a job. So she goes to this place, gets a job there, and then meets the person who's having a wedding, and then she's invited to the wedding because everyone knows each other in the town or whatever. And really, just that small collision uh, makes for a good movie because it's just you get two point of views in the beginning, and then they collide, and it could end there and have, as long as it's a good plot and everything, it could be good. But it goes on from there. I don't want to give anything away if you haven't watched it, but it's an old movie anyways. But it's a good movie. Let me see if I can find the name for it. I just watched it the other day. It's actually probably still in my class.
You said it's an older one?
Yeah, it's a little bit older. It has what's her name in it? Who is the she's a singer, but she's blonde, a little bit older, country singer.
Hmm.
Uh I'm looking up blonde country singers. Singer female. Let's see. Uh
Is it Carrie Underwood?
no. It was
Loretta Lynn?
is that who that is? Yeah, it was her, I think.
Reba?
Huh?
Reba?
That's her name? I Is that her name? Because I forget her name. I thought it was something else, but I don't remember. So
Yeah.
but here I can find the name of the movie real quick in my screenwriting class. It's under let me see, course content, learning module. That so the movie is Steel Magnolias, and let's see, they have the names up here. Oh, Dolly Parton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
who it is. Yeah. Yeah, I knew when you were saying the names, they didn't sound familiar.
Yeah.
She's one of the main characters, but she's not the main character, but
That
she's
is a
one of
good
them.
movie.
You've watched it?
I've saw parts of it, but my mom was saying she saw it and she liked it.
Okay.
Um, yeah. You know what's like
Took a
crazy
while.
about it? I was thinking about this a lot. When you watch like older movies, it's all the actors and actresses were just natural, straight up beauty.
Yeah.
It sounds weird when I say stuff like that, but it's like
I mean, yeah,
nowadays it's like you
people
get your
get
teeth
surgeries.
fixed, you get your implants, whatever you call it. You get on these steroids to get in shape for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, that wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Like it was just got your hair done, get a little makeup, boom.
Yeah.
You had to be in shape for a role. You worked
It
out.
worked out. Yeah.
Like I just think it's just a cool aspect of things. And
Mm-hmm.
people today, they don't. It's never that approach anymore.
Yeah.
Um, like you watch movies like what's the one movie with Marlon Brando?
Um. What was the
Uh,
plot?
Streetcar Named Desire. Like he
Oh,
was
okay.
like he got apparently he was a dude that got in good shape for that role.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did, I think there some people were saying that he did body weight and just lifted a bunch of furniture.
Yeah. That
That's all he
the
pretty
thing about
much
the
did.
furniture that would get you in shape. But yeah, it's just about the way that people get there. It's like some of them,
Different. It was a different like time.
yeah,
It's just something I picked up on.
yeah, no, it definitely is, because you see people today, and a lot of the method actors, they still do it naturally, like they work out and stuff. But there are, some people who, you know, do things not so naturally, and it sort of takes away from who they are as a person. But yeah.
Yeah, no, totally does.
Mhm. But yeah, is there anything else?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. This is Anything and Everything, and we'll see you next week.